I'd like to open the announcement period. Would council members who have announcements to make please indicate by pressing your buttons and you will be recognized. Councilmember Porterfield.
Thank you so much. I just want to thank everyone that came out. We had our first community cleanup 2 weeks ago, and we had a huge turnout, and we just want to thank everyone that came out and supported for that community cleanup. We also had our 4th community meeting last night with over 70 residents in our area. So just very thankful to our neighbors and thankful for MNPD for coming out to discuss some of the safety concerns and to discuss starting up a neighborhood watch. And I would just like to ask my neighbors to continue checking their newsletters. We do have a few more meetings coming up, a traffic calming meeting coming up on the 18th, and we'll also have an additional safety meeting coming up. So I would just like to ask my constituents in District 29 to continue to check that newsletter so that they can get the dates of the upcoming meetings. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Any other council members with announcements to make? We'll give it a few minutes and then move to presentations. Councilmember O'Connell.
Thank you, Madam President. I did just want to let voters and potential voters in Davidson County know that today is the last day to register to vote in local elections. I'm not exactly sure when the Davidson County Election Commission or Secretary of State's office will consider the deadline closed, but govotn.com is a wonderful resource for all Tennesseans. You can go to register to vote online, update your address on your voter registration if you need to, and then you can start exercising that franchise on July 12th when early voting opens for this local election. Just a reminder that Election Day is August 1st. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilmember Bedney.
Yes, thank you. A reminder that this coming Saturday is the first Saturday of the month at 10 a.m. I'll have the District 31 office hour at Pork Belly Cafe. And I think it's going to be the one before the last office hour I do as District 31 council member. So this is your chance to come and give me a hard time for probably the very last time. So hope I'll see you there at Pork Belly Cafe. I wanted to share also with the people watching that I have been working with the staff at the Metro Council to see about having some childcare here in the council during council meetings. Many families that want to be part of the process of coming and engaging with the council are unable to do so because they have children at home and they have to choose between family and civic duty. So we have been working on trying to find a solution by leveraging some of the people that are already working for Nashville in that condition. So hopefully we'll come up with some kind of a resolution that the council can review and perhaps even do on the coming term. So I just wanted to share that with the community, that that's something that we're looking into. Thank you very much.
Thank you, great suggestion. Any other council members wishing to make announcements? Councilmember Gilmore, do you wish to make an announcement? Just checking. I'm getting ready to cut it off and go to presentation, so I don't want anybody to miss their opportunity. All right. Okay. Seeing no other council members in the queue, we have several presentations that we would like to make to some honored guests, and I will start with the Vanderbilt Life Flight team. If y'all will join me at the public lectern back there, I would love to tell your story.
see. Planning table. Try.
There we go. Okay, thank you. So, we are giving a resolution to honor the Vanderbilt Life Flight on their 35th anniversary of providing service to Tennessee. Whereas the Vanderbilt Life Flight program began operation on July 5th, 1984, with one Bell 206 long-range helicopter. And whereas Vanderbilt Life Flight is the critical care, air, and ground medical transport service of Vanderbilt University Medical Center, supporting the Level 1 Trauma Center. And whereas the Life Flight program provides the highest level of care possible to the safest manner to the people of our service area and strives to provide quality education to our colleagues in the emergency service field. And whereas Vanderbilt Life Flight averages more than 3,000 flights per year, serving all parts of Tennessee, utilizing a critical care nurse, critical care paramedic team. And whereas today, Life Flight has expanded to 9 helicopters, 1 airplane, and 9 ground ambulances. Whereas Life Flight provides emergency medical care and coverage to millions of people each year at special events, such as parts of Events Medicine Division, including those held at Bridgestone Arena, Vanderbilt University, Belmont University, Ascend Amphitheater, First Tennessee Park, Nashville Sounds, and the Nashville Soccer Club. And whereas Life Flight serves as the regional medical communication center for Middle Tennessee and assists in disaster planning and coordination. And whereas Life Flight regularly trains more than 3,800 emergency care providers, including first responders, EMTs, AEMTs, paramedics, critical care paramedics, police officers, firefighters, 911 communicators, emergency nurses, and physicians. And whereas Vanderbilt Life Flight is nationally recognized as a leader in patient care and safety and was the first program in Tennessee to receive accreditation from the Commission on Accreditation of Medical Transport Systems. And whereas it is fitting and proper that the Metro Council recognize the commitment, dedication, and valuable services of the men and women who make Life Flight program a success. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the Metropolitan Government of Nashville and Davidson County that the Metro Council hereby goes on record as recognizing the commitment, dedication, and invaluable service provided by the men and women who make the Vanderbilt Life Flight program a success upon the occasion of their 35th anniversary providing such services. And I would like to present this this official document to Jeannie. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for your work on this. Very good. Thank you. Can you come around here and get one? We'll get an official picture right quick. Hang on just a second. We'll get it. Don't they look official? Right. One more.
1, 2, 3. One more. 1, 2, 3.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you all for your service. Thank you. Thank you. 35 years, that's a long time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Oh, that's mine on top.
There you go.
Thank you so much.
Every day, all day and all night.
Do I wait?
Do I follow you?
And now I'd like to recognize Councilmember Delisha Porterfield, who has a proclamation to present.
This is good. Come back. Come back. Go back there.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. This is a proclamation for Robert L. McIntyre for 100 years. Whereas a life celebrated, Robert L. McIntyre was born May 17, 1919 in Massachusetts. He is the third of 12 children. He attended public schools in Massachusetts and Florida. And whereas prior to World War II, he opened and operated a fast food stand in the shadow of the Florida state capital of Tallahassee, specializing in hamburgers and hot dogs, and named his small business H&H Restaurant. And whereas Mr. McIntyre served several small churches as a missionary in the eastern Kentucky mountains, and whereas Mr. McIntyre enlisted in the Army Air Corps at Orlando, Florida, with duty stations in Hawaii and the Philippines, in 1946, Mr. McIntyre was separated at the Mitchell Field in New York with the rank of sergeant. And whereas before returning to civilian life, Mr. McIntyre attended a Sunday evening worship service at Windsor Avenue Baptist Church on Long Island and was quite taken with the organist Grace Holmgren. They eventually married and resided in Florida, then Western New York, where Mr. McIntyre worked for the Bell Aircraft Company in the development and improvement of early helicopters. And whereas he continued his ministerial training, completing his education at Wesley Seminary in Washington, D.C., and whereas in 2015, Mr. McIntyre experienced a great loss when his wife died at their home, and he then came to Nashville to live with his son, Dean, and his wife, Karen, and their granddaughter, Noelle. And whereas Mr. McIntyre attributes his longevity to eating well, avoiding sweets and alcohol, and his daily walks, which until recently lasted 3, 4, 5, or more miles. He enjoys swimming and he enjoys swimming in the neighborhood pool, daily feeding and caring for the birds on the front deck, and assisting his daughter-in-law with home and school gardening. And now, therefore, I, Delicia Porterfield, council member for District 29 of the Metropolitan Council of Nashville and Davidson County, Tennessee, do hereby recognize Robert L. McIntyre for his many years of honorable service and celebrate this occasion of his 100th year birthday celebration.
All right.
Right here in the orange. Thank you.
I just want to say, I never would have thought Nashville would do something like this for just an ordinary person. It's one of the best things about this community. We really still are a community.
My dad, for all of my adult life, has been a preacher, a pastor. I'm a retired, lifelong church musician. We ought to sing a hymn and have a prayer here tonight.
Sing happy birthday.
Come on, Dad. Thank you. Did we get one of those?
And that concludes our announcement period.